Matt, in this weather, the fluctuations, the melt, the freeze can be tough on your roof. Today, Steve Barkhouse joins us with important tips on how to avoid ice damming and other winter maintenance suggestions too. When we come back, Matt, we have award-winning builder and renovator Steve Barkhouse joining us with the checklist for winter home maintenance.
Leanne Cusack has Steve Barkhouse in studio today. Leanne?
Thank you, Matt. I like to say Barkhouse to help with your house. Steve occasionally joins us with renovation inspiration. Today, though, we are very practical.
We're being practical.
We're not starting from the foundation. We're looking at the roof, and there's no point in getting excited about a renovation if, in fact, you have water coming in.
Absolutely. No, you want to avoid that at all expense, and we're going to show you how.
So ice damming may be in your vocabulary. It may not be in your vocabulary, but Steve, you've worked to educate all of us on ice damming, and we have a visual to help.
We do, yeah, that always helps, for sure.
So we have a still that shows what happens as Matt was describing the weather, the freeze, the thaw, the everything. That can really play havoc on your roof.
Yes, exactly. So looking around today, even with the warm weather that we've had, there's still a good snow blanket on the roofs out there. And what happens is that snow blanket acts like an insulator. Our friends up north have shown us that with a candle you can heat a small igloo. So it doesn't take a lot of heat with that snow blanket. So the heat from the house gets up into the attic, gets trapped in the attic because the vents are covered, and with that blanket, you're going to get above zero. Then it melts that snow layer on the roof, creating a water that runs down. As soon as it gets past the outside wall, where there is no attic below it, it freezes, and we get that ice damming. And that will happen anywhere from 0 to -10. So it can, and we've seen those temperatures that are coming. So it freezes up, you get the ice dam, the water backs up, gets under the shingles, and then you've got water in the house.
This photograph, I believe, that's your back house?
That's my backyard, yeah.
That's Backhouse, Barkhouse's back of the house. So this is how to avoid that, and a roof rake is the tool you need. So tell us what you've done and exactly the why.
Yeah, so your roof rake is your friend. You want to, it's not a tough job. So although the damage can be very expensive and troublesome, the solution is easy. So you take your roof rake, which we're going to show in a second, you put it up on the roof gently and pull that snow off. You do not have to go right down to the shingles. You just take it off. As you can see, there's still a layer of snow and ice on the roof, but I did it on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I haven't touched it, so you can see the mount. You want to go back 3 or 4 feet. You don't have to go all the way back, just past the outside wall. Get the snow off, and then when the sun gets on there, which is coming, Matt said, it's going to melt that snow. And if we show the next picture, you'll see just a couple of hours later at my house, after I took the snow off, I took another shot, and you can see it's already started to melt. And that's just the sun melting it off there, because the shingles are dark, they warm up, and it melts off. So if that doesn't work, once you've raked off the snow, and again, it keeps you from being up on the roof, it's a safe way to do it. We've got some ice melt options that we can toss up there.
Okay, because you're in a bungalow. I'm in a bungalow. So it's a little bit easier when you're in a bungalow than if you have a huge 2-story home.
Yeah.
But your roof rake has an extension.
It's lots of extensions. They come with probably 3 or 4 extensions. I only need 2 at my place, but you can absolutely do a 2-story easily from the ground, very safely. You're out away from the building, so when the snow comes down, it's not coming down on you, and it's very, very safe. Like I say, you're only going back 3 feet. People think that they have to clear the whole roof. No,
just
you do
the
not.
edge.
And we're not worried about the weight. That's okay. Structurally, the house is fine. We're just taking the 3 or 4 feet off the edge with your rake.
And you also want the roof rake to clean the vents.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about the vents right now.
Oh, no, really?
No, we're just going to leave them.
Great,
That's
one
okay.
less thing to do.
There you go.
So
we get the perimeter done.
When you're a child, you get really excited to see icicles. When you're a builder and a renovator, not so excited to see the icicles, eh?
Well, it depends what business you're in, I guess, maybe.
So we have other tricks. And so this is something that you say a lot of old homes are or people who own older homes are installing.
Yeah, because they can't prevent that heat loss going up. The insulation values aren't there. The house wasn't designed to be insulated properly. So we have these cables that go up on the roof, and we've got a picture of that where they just go up on the roof and they just do it a zigzag. And again, we don't have to melt the whole perimeter. We're just putting channels in the ice so that when the water comes down, it can flow off the roof and create those beautiful icicles.
But if you don't want to do the roof rake, and if you don't want to install the roof guard, Tell us about
Well,
this.
yeah, I like to put these together with the roof rake, but you can absolutely toss these up. So you just toss them up on the roof, or get good with a hockey stick, maybe a Timmy Stew up on the roof, but get them up on the eave, and they just melt right through. But there's also granular. So you can toss the granular up, or with a wee shovel, toss those up.
And they will not damage your shingles.
No, you've got to make sure you get the eco-friendly ones. Pet-friendly ones are the same.
Thank you.
Just ice melt. This one is actually for roof melting, but they do make eco-friendly just ice melters. Same thing.
We've known each other a while. He's reading my mind. Eco-friendly, pet-friendly.
I know.
We have a really great list, and I gave Steve lots of credit. I said, wow, Steve, you've actually checked off everything on your winter to-do list. When you confessed.
Yeah, I checked that off with a permanent marker last year and can't get it off now.
We're going to share the list with you, though. Some really practical advice on home maintenance. Matt.
Yeah, permanent markers, tough to get that out. Thank you to the two. We'll check back in with you shortly. Let's go back to Leanne Cusack once again with Steve Barkhouse. Leanne.
Thank you so much, Matt. I thought I had a long honey-do list. Steve has pages and pages of the things to do. Now, the very first time I met you, you came to assess a leak at a friend's house, and I thought you were so practical and conversational. You should be on TV, and also because you keep winning Builder of the Year and Renovator of the Year. And the project that we showed the last time you were on is up for a national award. You just said. Where is that home? In the Glebe or in Wellington West?
Wellington West.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
luck.
we find out later today.
Keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
Now that's the glamour. We're going to get to the practical.
Yeah.
And this is the winter to-do list. So you don't have to worry about taking notes, because on your website under the tools and tips section, you can actually get your own list and laminate it.
Yeah, you got to laminate it.
Okay, so we talked about the roof. Next thing everyone should bear in mind for winter maintenance, if in fact we've forgotten, is?
Yeah, I would suggest probably the filter. We're indoors a lot right now, so change the filter in the furnace, or if you have a washable one, just pop it out, put it in the tub and wash it down. Filters, Leanne, have some wonderful features now. So they can be pet friendly, they can improve the air quality in the home, but all of these features come with a bit of a drawback in that they're capturing mold spores and pet dander and things like that. So that's why we want to make sure that we're changing them up regularly.
Okay.
And long weekend is a great time to change those and pop a new one in.
So furnace filter, check. That's off the list. Did I make?
Nice.
Yeah.
How often?
I'd like to see it done 4 times a year, Matt. Yeah, 4 times a year.
That was a great question by Matt, because I think he hasn't changed the furnace filter over on the other side. Okay, he said he just changed it. That's good. Next on the list of things to do.
Well, yeah, I've written down a couple of ones that people may not think of. So, long weekend, take out the vacuum, vacuum out the vents in the bathroom, because again, we're in the house, there's a lot of dust going on. Vacuum the vents in the bathroom, but also your smoke detectors and other detectors.
So what if you have an HVAC system?
So the filter in the HVAC should pop out and wash out, but again, you can vacuum in there as well. Sometimes you get like a spider or something in there, build a little web, so you can just vacuum those out.
And to Matt's point, how often do we vacuum out or clean out the HVAC?
Do those with the filter. Every 4 times a year is what we like to see. And on the HVAC and the furnace, actually, with the snow that we've had, and again, it's melted down a bit, we're going to get more. Sorry, Stu. The vents outside, we want to make sure that they're clear, because we have toxic air being blown out of the home. We don't want to block that and have it bounce back into the home.
That's a really great point.
And that's easy, right? Just a quick shovel, quick pull away. So that's a good one. Your fire extinguishers, everyone's got their fire extinguishers in the house. Just check the gauge, make sure they're okay. Make sure that we're changing those. Once a year on that is usually a good time to do it. My buddy always does it on Remembrance Day, because then he remembers. So that's how he remembers to do that. Windows, we had the really cold Arctic vortex, I think Matt said, come down last time I was here, and we've got some more cold air coming. So just check the windows for air leakage, cold coming in, but also if there's any condensation on there, which we see in the older homes, and that just means we got to get some more ventilation. So don't close your blinds or close your drapes, which everyone does because they're trying to keep the cold out. Leave those open so that the air can get to them and dry those windows out.
And are you a fan of weather stripping?
Weather stripping? Yeah, I think, weather stripping is a Band-Aid for something that wasn't installed properly or maybe is a little bit older, but it's a great Band-Aid. So
Now, this isn't a Band-Aid, but we want to show something. We have an image that you're very excited about.
I really am.
Because
Well, it shows two things. One, on the roof, you can see the heating cables where they've melted through and created those channels that we talked about. So this is a home in the glebe, and it works wonderfully in keeping the ice damming off. But if you check out the driveway, and you can see just in front of the driveway is the road and the sidewalk, and they're covered in ice. This is a heated driveway. You can have heated driveways in either electrical heat or in a boiler system, and the walkway. And so the snow melts. As soon as it hits, it has an indicator. As soon as it's snowing out, it will turn on, it turns off, so it's relatively efficient that way.
that's pretty swank.
Yeah.
And what would the cost of something like that be?
It depends on the size of the area that you're doing. It would probably be anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000, I would guess. So it's not inexpensive, but there's no snow plowing. There's no those big banks that you're tossing snow up and over. And safety, I don't know what the cost of safety is.
Well, we are so happy that you joined us, and I did tease you about, using the permanent marker on the checklist, but here's a true confession, and this is my bad entirely. I don't know how many people don't know that the front filter on those front load washers
Yeah.
has to be cleaned out every couple of months.
Yeah. And
Did you
you know
know
what? Now's the time when you've got the vacuum out doing the other fans, do under the fridge, do under the freezer. Those are the times to do this because they have air filters as well, and they get clogged up because of the dust bunnies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And gotta love the dust bunnies in the right place. Thanks, Steve, Matt.
Some excellent tips. Sorry for interjecting. I wanted to know how often.